Fade in. Hello, I am Michelle.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of I Entertainment. Well, today we want to discuss the Blaze media article that came out about Scarlett Johansson. I actually saw this when I was getting on an airplane over the weekend, and I thought, well, wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty refreshing. And we would have covered it earlier, but I had been out of town. So we thought it was still worth covering today. So we want to discuss this Blaze article on Scarlett Johansson, because she made some interesting statements that I think most people will probably appreciate.
I think it should be celebrated.
I do too. I've become an even larger Scarlett Johansson fan after reading this. So she did an interview with this British magazine called The Gentlewoman, I believe. Yeah, British magazine. And anyways,
The Gentlewoman, I like that.
The Gentlewoman. You guys let us know if you've heard of The Gentlewoman, if you're living somewhere over in Britain.
I like to think of myself as a gentlewoman.
Yes. We've got gentlemen and we have gentlewomen. So
it's about time.
In the article of The Gentlewoman, as she was being interviewed, she said that actors should stick to acting and stop making political statements. And all of us said, amen. We all applauded. Yeah, we definitely. And I have a take that I think maybe some of you may find a little interesting for this, because, and we'll get into more what she says here.
Michelle's got conspiracies.
No, I don't have conspiracies. Because here's the thing. Do I care if actors... I don't care that actors have their political leanings and like things on Twitter or make a statement or who they voted for. I really don't care.
Just like all of us.
They're private citizens.
Right.
They get to vote. That is fully their right, and they're due that. They're allowed that, just as we are. So I have zero problem with them, with them expressing who they like or whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me. But what Scarlett gets into in this is really, you can tell that she doesn't like, she basically expresses, which we've seen in different articles, even around the time the Gina thing came out, where the Hollywood Reporter actually reported that their agents will push them like to make, if it's left-leaning statements, like to really be activists, basically.
It's not surprising.
Like that's good for their career.
Right.
And that is what Scarlett Johansson is basically coming at in this. And she says this, and I think this is excellent. She says, whatever my political views are, all that stuff, I feel most successful when people can sit in a theater or at a home and disappear into a story and a performance and see a piece of themselves, or are able to connect with themselves through the experience of watching this performance or story or interaction between actors or whatever it is. And that's so true.
She pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of the goal, I would think.
Yes, because...
And for the viewer.
There's plenty of actors that I really like that I know we don't agree on politics, but they're not like what she's expressing, what I think she's coming against. They're not the Mark Ruffalo. They're not the Mark Hamill that have terrible cases of TDS, and that they have expressed it every day for 4 years.
We're like, we get it.
Yeah, we get it. We all get it. Everyone gets it. And there's so many of them like that, where it's like, all they do. It's literally like politics or their religion, and they are the priests of this particular segment. I mean, that's all they do.
I mean, the former president is living rent-free in the heads.
Definitely.
Clearly.
And it's that kind of thing is what begins to wear on people, and to wear when they go to the theater, or say like Robert De Niro has come out and really made himself look like a jerk to a lot of people. And it's those type things. Or say a Pedro Pascal comparing all Trump supporters to Yahtzees, and getting away scot-free with it. But
and I just say, and I think others, I actually read something recently that kind of made this point. It's like, so then when you watch that show or watch that movie, you kind of can't help but think of like, oh, that's what that guy, thinks of a whole group of people, know. Or if you identify as with the former president, like, oh, well, you hate me too, because you've made that so clear in your abundant posts that you do all the time.
Yes. And that's where I think what she's saying, like, if you can't go to the theater and watch Scarlett Johansson, we'll use her since she's the one making the statement, and all you're thinking about is how she hates these supporters or these supporters, that's not a good thing. And a lot of actors have begun to put themselves in that spot now because they've become these raging activists that feel this need to always express these different things. And so again, I don't have a problem with them liking who they like, supporting who they want to support. But I do have a problem when you come against and name call the other side.
Yes.
And when it's just a constant berating. I mean, it just gets old.
And I can just tell you, my personality, even meek, mild me, I would kind of, if I had somebody in charge of me or my handler telling me, even if that were my political beliefs, saying, oh, you need to get on this and put this out there, that would kind of irritate me.
Yes.
It's like, it's not genuine at that point or organic. It's like, oh, this makes you look good. Do this.
Yes. And because some people, and we all have those people, and maybe you're one. It's like you vote, but you really don't want to talk about it, and you just really don't want to get into it. And I respect that. I think that should be respected. And in all reality, politics have become way too big of a thing in our society. It's like the number one religion. But
and it's been such a tool of division.
It has been. And as Scarlett's saying, movies, and we've said this so many times on this channel, it should be something we can all come together, get lost in, see, as she says, see a piece of yourself in, and just enjoy and not have to think about all Mark Ruffalo or Mark Hamill's statements or Pedro Pascal calling everyone that voted for someone a Yahtzee. Or those are the things we shouldn't be thinking about when we're in watching a movie.
I mean, true great movies or shows, like that's the beauty of it. When
they speak to everyone.
That's exactly what she described. Like when it touches, like it leaves you feeling something or it resonates with something inside of you. But certainly the last thing you're usually thinking about is your political affiliation,
Yes.
when you're going to see a movie.
Yeah. So again, as I say, I have zero problem with them liking whoever they want to like, supporting whoever they want to support, give money to whatever they want to give. That's their right. But here's another problem, which is why I kind of agree again with what Scarlett's saying. And I think Scarlett's actually saying what we're saying because she goes on to indicate that she voted for Biden. I mean, it's not like she's saying don't ever express anything. I think she really is coming against just the total, or say that no one wants to watch award shows because all they do is preach.
Yeah.
Like their things. And no one wants to watch that. I think that's obvious.
Like they get up for an award and somehow it turns into how they're pro-choice. And you're just like, how do we get here?
Yeah. Like what does that have to do with the fact that you won the award for that movie?
I'm looking at you, Michelle Williams.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. But then the second problem we would say is not just that people are so political in Hollywood. It's the fact that only one side is represented.
Right.
There's only one voice that's allowed to be heard. And it's been that way for
only
at least
one side is celebrated.
Yes. And the other side is condemned.
Oh, yeah.
You can be blackballed.
Well, because you're a Yahtzee.
Yeah. So that's problematic. So it's another thing. It's totally fine for everyone to have their political beliefs, but everyone should be able to express them if that's kind of what you're going for.
Right. Like it'd be fair on both sides.
Yeah. And then that's totally fine. But yeah, I just thought this was a great article. And also, I was telling Natalie as we were walking up here to record, I was saying, it makes me wonder because Scarlett, I'm pretty sure participated around the election. There was Avengers for Biden, and they did like a campaign for him. And that's where it is getting obnoxious. Yeah. When it's an entire movie franchise name and it's all of them for one candidate. Like that's where you're alienating all the other people who don't vote that way.
Like, it's kind of like in high school and everybody's into the same clothes and the same stuff. Like you want to say when there's a group kind of that gets that large, like you all think the same way. Like all of you think exactly the same way.
Well, and even in that, it'd be one thing.
Maybe they do.
Here's what I'm saying. It's one thing if all of them vote for Biden. Fine. That's totally their right. They pick who they vote for. But it's another thing when they all come together under the Avengers name and then support it. Again, that alienates the other side of your audience. And I think it's interesting because I believe she participated in that. And it makes you wonder now, like with her making these statements and saying like I'm not a politician. We shouldn't be forced to make political statements.
No.
I wonder if she like was kind of pressured by her PR, her publicist and people to do that.
This looks good.
Yeah,
get in on this.
Like it will look bad if you don't go.
Right. Like
yes.
Cough, cough, Chris Pratt.
Yes,
got a lot
exactly.
of heat for not attending.
And that's what kind of happens. Chris Pratt did it. I don't know Chris Pratt's politics. He's never discussed politics.
Quite frankly, I respect.
Yeah. Yes. As Scarlett's kind of pointing out.
Yeah. And that's what I told Michelle. Honestly, I'm like, more respect to Scarlett Johansson for this. I'm like, obviously, she has a different political thing, but I respect the fact that she's come out and made these statements.
Yeah, because it makes you wonder, was she kind of resentful that she felt maybe forced to go do that thing, Avengers for Biden, and then she watched how they attacked Chris Pratt just for not showing up.
Yes.
Which shows the absolute pressure of you are to do this and to present these issues.
Talk about peer pressure.
Yeah, like that's a lot of peer pressure. So yeah, that's kind of it. I just thought I've always liked her as an actress, and
yeah, me too.
Really enjoy the character Black Widow. In fact, I've said this for a while. I think Kevin Feige doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but one of the mistakes he has made is how he's treated Scarlett Johansson's character. Yeah. She deserved her own movie after either Captain America, Winter Soldier, or definitely after Civil War. Like, she should have had her own movie.
Because let's face it, she's a standout.
And Scarlett Johansson is a star. She truly is. And I think her star value may be increasing with this article with a large people. And I think that shows you what people want. No one cares that, if she voted for Biden. We just care that you're not forcing like one way of thinking down everyone's throat and condemning the whole other side. That's all that annoys people.
And really, if we want to just really general, it's the condemning the other side.
Yeah.
It's like, it is a free country. Like, if you want to post every day, all day about you hate the former president, I mean, I guess go for it. I don't know that that's good for your mental health, like to focus on something so much, but it's when you start putting down large groups of people and labeling them things that gets, I think, the most irritating.
That people won't be able to disassociate when they go into the theater at that point. That is kind of what Scarlett's getting at. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't feel pressure. They are actors. As Kurt Russell said, we're the court jesters, or did he say the jokers? But that's true.
Kurt Russell, he's very likable.
They're the entertainers, and they shouldn't feel pressured into it. And clearly, like I said, from that Hollywood Reporter article, their publicists do pressure them into it. And we can read the disingenuousness of some of these posts that they do, that it's so obvious they just felt pressured, like they had to do it.
Right. Well, and somebody I was thinking of, I'm sure if you guys have seen Ricky Gervais's awesome.
You've seen it. If you're watching this channel, you've seen it.
But the Golden Globe roast, basically, of Hollywood. And I saw he was on The View of all places. And, he kind of made the point. He's like, I don't feel like my job as a comedian is to get in there and people pay to come sit and listen to me. And he said, I don't think it's my job to talk about politics.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and I think they were kind of taken aback, but it was just like, once again, good job, good sir. Like, that's awesome. We need more of that.
Yeah, we do. But anyways, guys, that's kind of our thoughts. We just wanted to cover this. Shout out to Scarlett Johansson for just saying that you don't feel like that. I think this article is excellent. And I think if Hollywood even just kind of took this advice, again, we're still saying vote for who you want to, support who you want to, like what you want on Twitter, whatever, doesn't matter. Just don't go full Mark Hamill is what we're saying. If you do that, you'll be fine.
He's basically the poster child at this point of what not to do. Bless it. But
we still love Luke Skywalker, guys.
We do. So, it'll never change our love for Luke.
I'd still love to get an autograph of Mark Hamill and shake his hand. So it is what it is.
Because we don't hate him because of his political affiliation.
No, we just think he might need to just kind of maybe get off Twitter for a bit and kind of clear his mind.
Take a deep breath.
But anyways, that's it for this show. Please, if you have not, we hope that we've earned your subscription. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. We'd like to know your thoughts. What do you think about Scarlett Johansson? What do you think about Hollywood and their political beliefs?
And guys, we know she's hot. We mean other than that.
Yeah. So share your thoughts below. But yeah, that is it. And we will catch you guys next time. And as always, remember, to be a force of light. All right, bye guys.